Ferrari Purosangue Lusso. When Ferrari refuses to become an SUV. The first thing you notice about the 2026 Ferrari Purosangue Lusso is not its size. It is not its height. It is not its stance. It is the silence it commands before it ever moves. Finished in a deep, liquid black, the Purosangue Lusso does not shout for attention the way most Ferraris traditionally have. There is no theatrical red, no visual drama designed to announce its presence from across the street. Instead, it stands calmly, almost coldly, like a machine that already knows it is faster, more emotionally charged, and more significant than anything else nearby. This is not Ferrari asking for space in the SUV world. This is Ferrari bending the world to make space for itself. A broken promise, and why it had to happen. Ferrari once made a promise it believed could never be broken. It would never build an SUV. For decades, that promise stood as a pillar of the brand's identity. Ferrari was about low seating positions, screaming engines, and a direct connection between driver and machine. Height, practicality, and versatility were ideas left to other manufacturers. Then reality arrived. The Purosangue changed that promise, not by abandoning Ferrari's values, but by reinterpreting them. And the Lusso interpretation pushes that philosophy even further, transforming luxury performance into something that feels handcrafted rather than calculated. This is not Ferrari chasing a trend. It is Ferrari redefining it on its own terms. Exterior design, sculpted by instinct, not compromise. From every angle, the Purosangue Lusso looks sculpted rather than designed. The hood stretches long and muscular, echoing Ferrari's front-engine grand tours. The proportions immediately tell you where the power lives. This is not a tall nose trying to disguise its mass. It is an engine-first statement. The roofline flows low and elegant, sweeping backward in a way that feels far closer to a coupe than any SUV silhouette. There is tension in the rear haunches, the same muscular readiness you expect from Ferrari's most celebrated road cars. Nothing about it feels boxy. Nothing about it feels compromised. Even standing still, the Purosangue Lusso feels fast, like a panther at rest, conserving energy before a sprint. Black is a statement, power without exhibition. The choice of black is critical. Black does not distract. Black does not decorate. It reveals. Under soft lighting, the curves of the Purosangue Lusso emerge gradually, the bodywork reflecting its surroundings like polished obsidian. The form becomes almost fluid, the surfaces catching light in slow, deliberate waves. Under harsher lighting, the transformation is immediate. The shadows sharpen the lines. The stance widens visually. The car feels more aggressive, less grand tourer, more predator. Ferrari did not chase ruggedness here. They chased balance. This is not a vehicle that looks like it wants to climb rocks or traverse trails. It looks like it wants to dominate long roads, alpine passes, and cities that never sleep. Opening the door, where Ferrari's luxury philosophy begins. Open the door, and the Lusso identity becomes unmistakable. This is where Ferrari's understanding of luxury separates it from everyone else. The cabin does not overwhelm you with massive screens or futuristic theatrics. It does not try to impress you with technology for technology's sake. Instead, it embraces you with craftsmanship. Soft leather wraps every surface your body might touch. The stitching is precise, almost obsessive in its execution. Nothing feels mass-produced. Nothing feels generic. This interior does not feel designed for a market segment. It feels designed for a person. A personal space, luxury as intimacy. The contrast between the black exterior and the interior atmosphere is striking. Outside, the Purosangue Lusso feels serious, intimidating, restrained. Inside, it becomes warm, personal, intimate. The cabin feels like it was built around a single driver's preferences rather than a focus group's demands. Materials feel chosen, not assigned. Every surface exists for tactile satisfaction as much as visual appeal. This is luxury as connection, not display. Seating position, elevated without betrayal. The seating position is higher than any Ferrari before it. And yet, the moment you sit down, it still feels unmistakably Ferrari. You do not feel perched above the car. You do not feel removed from the machine. You feel integrated into it. The steering wheel sits close, perfectly positioned. The pedals align naturally with your body. The dashboard curves around you in a way that subtly removes the outside world from your awareness. This is not an SUV seating position pretending to be sporty. It is a Ferrari driving position, simply elevated. 4 seats, 1 philosophy. Even the rear seats receive the same respect. This is not a front seat experience with an afterthought behind it. The Purosangue Lusso invites 4 adults to share the Ferrari experience without apology. There is space, comfort, and attention to detail throughout the cabin. Ferrari did not treat the rear as secondary. They treated it as essential. This alone sets the Lusso apart from most performance-focused SUVs. The engine, defiance in a downsized world. Then there is the engine. Ferrari made a decision that borders on rebellion. In a world obsessed with downsizing, turbocharging, and electrification, Ferrari chose to keep a naturally aspirated V12 alive. Press the start button, and the Purosangue Lusso does not erupt into noise. It clears its throat first. Then it settles into a deep, layered idle that feels mechanical, organic, and alive. This is not synthesized sound. This is metal, combustion, and decades of racing heritage breathing together. The engine does not shout for attention. It exists with authority. Motion begins where the illusion shatters. Once in motion, the true genius of the Purosangue Lusso reveals itself. This does not feel like a heavy SUV pretending to be fast. It feels like a Ferrari that simply happens to offer space and comfort. Acceleration is effortless and relentless. The V12 pulls with a smoothness that makes speed feel almost abstract. There is no drama in the delivery, just a continuous surge that feels endless. You glance down and realize you are traveling far faster than your senses suggest. This is Ferrari mastery at work. Chassis tuning, the art of control. Ferrari's chassis tuning is the invisible hero of the Purosangue Lusso. The suspension absorbs imperfections without dulling feedback. Road texture remains present, but never harsh. This balance is extraordinarily difficult to achieve, and few manufacturers ever manage it. The car remains composed even when the road surface deteriorates. There is no sense of mass fighting physics. No feeling of systems working overtime to hide weight. Instead, the Lusso flows. Steering, the soul remains untouched. Steering remains the soul of the experience. Light, razor sharp, filled with information. It communicates constantly. You feel the front tires load in corners. You sense the body settle confidently. You feel the power deploy cleanly on exit. Nothing feels artificial. Nothing feels filtered. The Purosangue Lusso dares you to forget that you are driving something with 4 doors and elevated ground clearance. It feels almost defiant. Ferrari Purosangue Lusso, the art of balance, the weight of legacy, and Ferrari's quiet revolution. If part 1 was about what the Purosangue Lusso is, part 2 must confront why it matters. Because this car is not simply Ferrari's first SUV-adjacent machine. It is a referendum on whether Ferrari can evolve without diluting the very thing that made it sacred. And remarkably, it might be the most Ferrari thing Ferrari has ever done. Comfort without compromise, redefining grand touring. The greatest surprise of the Purosangue Lusso is not its speed. It is its restraint. Ferrari has always been capable of building comfortable grand tours. But the Lusso elevates that philosophy into territory Ferrari has never occupied before, true long-distance serenity without emotional numbness. On extended journeys, the cabin becomes a sanctuary. Wind noise fades. Road noise dissolves. The V12 hums quietly in the background, never intrusive, never dormant. The ride quality is supple when you ask it to be. Expansion joints disappear. Broken pavement is absorbed rather than punished. And yet, this softness never feels disconnected. The car does not isolate you from the road. It filters it intelligently. This is comfort engineered with intent, not convenience. The transformation button, dual personality, no gimmicks. What separates the Purosangue Lusso from nearly every performance SUV on the market is how convincingly it shifts character. Many vehicles claim dual personalities. Few deliver them authentically. In comfort-oriented settings, the Lusso behaves like a refined Grand Tourer. Calm, throttle mapping, jante de suspension response, steering that feels relaxed but precise. Then you change the mode, and everything tightens. Throttle response sharpens instantly. Suspension firms with authority. Steering becomes urgent and alive. This is not a software illusion. It feels mechanical, intentional, honest. One moment, the Purosangue Lusso feels like a luxury express built for continents. The next, it transforms into something raw, emotional, and demanding. Few vehicles can make that transition without feeling confused. This one feels born for it. Weight without consequence, Ferrari's greatest illusion. On paper, the Purosangue Lusso should not behave the way it does. It is taller, heavier, more spacious. And yet, behind the wheel, the mass disappears. This is Ferrari's greatest trick. There is no sense of inertia fighting you through corners. No sensation of bulk resisting direction changes. Instead, the car rotates naturally, flows cleanly, and settles with confidence. The chassis does not feel like it's compensating. It feels composed. This is not engineering designed to hide flaws. It is engineering designed to prevent them from existing. Steering, the non-negotiable Ferrari principle. Ferrari could have compromised here. Many manufacturers do. Electric assistance dulls feedback. Weight masks information. Filters remove texture in the name of comfort. Ferrari refused. The steering in the Purosangue Lusso remains one of the most communicative systems in any modern vehicle, regardless of category. It talks to you constantly. You know exactly how much grip you have. You feel weight transfer before it becomes dramatic. You sense the road surface without being punished by it. This is the soul of Ferrari, preserved intact. And it is the clearest signal that this car was never meant to be an SUV. Technology, present, but never dominant. Ferrari's relationship with technology has always been careful. The Purosangue Lusso continues that tradition. Digital displays are crisp and responsive, but they do not overwhelm your senses. They exist to inform, not distract. Animations are purposeful. Layouts are clean. Physical controls still matter here. You don't swipe endlessly. You don't hunt through menus. You interact with the car directly. This matters more than it seems, because it reinforces Ferrari's core belief. The machine should serve the driver, not the other way around. Why Ferrari refused electrification for now? In a world racing toward electrification, Ferrari's decision to retain a naturally aspirated V12 feels almost rebellious. But it is not stubbornness. It is strategy. Ferrari understands that sound, response, and mechanical emotion are inseparable from its identity. A V12 is not just an engine. It is a cultural artifact. Electrification will come, but not here. Not yet. The Purosangue Lusso exists as a final, defiant celebration of combustion at its purest. And in doing so, it becomes something irreplaceable. Once this engine disappears, nothing else will feel like it again. 4 doors, still a Ferrari, the emotional test. Perhaps the most controversial aspect of the Purosangue Lusso is not its height or its practicality. It is the fact that it invites others into the Ferrari experience. For decades, Ferrari was personal, intimate, exclusive to the driver. The Lusso changes that. It allows 4 adults to share the journey, without diminishing the emotional intensity of the drive. That is not dilution. That is expansion. Ferrari has not made itself less special. It has made itself more accessible to experience, without becoming accessible to buy. And that distinction is crucial. Market impact. Why this car changes everything. The Purosangue Lusso does something no other Ferrari has done before. It expands the definition of what a Ferrari can be, without weakening the brand's mythology. It does not compete with SUVs on practicality. It does not compete with luxury brands on comfort alone. It competes on emotion, where Ferrari has always dominated. This car will not bring new buyers into Ferrari. It will give existing Ferrari owners something they never had. A Ferrari they can drive every day without sacrifice, status without exhibition, the power of restraint. In black, especially, the Purosangue Lusso becomes something unusual. It is expensive, but not flashy. Powerful, but not theatrical. Prestigious, but not loud. It commands respect rather than attention. In a world where luxury increasingly relies on spectacle, this restraint feels radical. And it aligns perfectly with Ferrari's quiet confidence. The purest question, has Ferrari gone too far? There will always be critics. Those who argue Ferrari should have never built this car. Those who see any deviation from tradition as betrayal. But history tells a different story. Ferrari has always evolved. Mid-engine layouts were once controversial. Turbocharging was once sacrilege. Four-seat Ferraris were once mocked. And yet, each evolution strengthened the brand. The Purosangue Lusso is simply the next chapter. Final verdict. Not an SUV, not a compromise. So what is the Ferrari Purosangue Lusso? It is not an SUV in the traditional sense. It is not a compromise. It is not a betrayal. It is a Ferrari that refused to become less Ferrari in order to become more versatile. It preserves the soul. It protects the emotion. It expands the experience. And in doing so, it may become one of the most important Ferraris ever built. Not because it is practical, but because it proves that Ferrari can evolve without ever forgetting who it is.